That anger you hold over someone's careless words isn't a wound, it's a choice. You think control brings peace, but true power comes from surrender. Epictetus knew, you decide whether to feed the flame. The world throws sparks every hour. We catch them. We hold them. We burn ourselves. Why do we do this? Because we confuse reaction with defense. We mistake vigilance for virtue. We will return to the nature of that spark in a moment. First, look at the architecture of your own mind. Every morning, you step into a current that is not yours to command. Traffic delays, sudden emails, the sharp tone of a colleague, the careless remark of a stranger. You stand at the center of it. The current pushes. You brace. You pull against it. You think strength means building walls, but walls trap the water inside. The Stoics saw life differently. They did not ask how to stop the river. They asked where to stand in it. Epictetus, born into chains, understood the only freedom that matters: the freedom to choose your response. Everything else is borrowed. Everything else is temporary. When you grip what is not yours, your hands bleed. When you release what is not yours, your hands are open. You can hold a stone, or you can hold the sky. One weighs you down. One lets you breathe. We will explore the ancient blueprint for this breath. But first, consider how easily we forget it. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire that stretched across 3 continents. He faced plagues, wars, betrayal, and the weight of endless demands. Yet his journals never begged for easier circumstances. They asked for a clearer lens. He wrote to himself each night, not to complain, to remember. He reminded himself that the actions of others were outside his gate. The weather, the economy, the opinions of the court, all outside his gate. Only his judgment remained inside. Only his attention belonged to him. This was not passive resignation. It was strategic focus. When you stop trying to direct the wind, you learn how to trim the sails. Seneca wrote from exile on a barren island. He lost his wealth. He lost his status. He lost his proximity to Rome. He did not mourn the shore he left behind. He built a new room inside himself. He observed the tide. He noted the patterns. He realized that the storm outside could never reach the quiet center he had cultivated. The ancients called this the dichotomy of control. It is a simple division. Some things are yours. Most things are not. The mistake we make is treating them as one. We hand over our peace to strangers. We mortgage our calm for approval. We let a careless word become a house we live in. But you hold the key. You decide what enters. You decide what stays. The fire does not spread unless you add wood. The ancient teachers watched this happen daily. They saw men and women feeding their own distress. They saw how quickly a small spark becomes a consuming blaze when met with fuel. We will return to this image soon. The lesson remains unchanged across centuries. You are the keeper of the hearth. You choose what to burn. Look at the world you navigate today. It is designed to keep you reacting. Screens flash with urgency. Notifications demand immediate answers. Strangers broadcast their opinions into your quiet rooms. You feel the pull. You reach for it. You type a reply. You argue. You defend. You lose an hour. Then you wonder where your energy went. It did not vanish. It was spent on a fire you did not start. The modern world rewards speed. It confuses urgency with importance. You are told to answer quickly. You are told to defend immediately. But speed is the enemy of clarity. When you rush, you stumble. When you pause, you see the foundation, the stones beneath the noise, the truth beneath the tone. In 2026, the marketplace of outrage is endless. Algorithms reward friction. They feed on your attention. They profit when you lean forward. When you argue with a stranger online, you are feeding a machine. You are handing your focus to a ghost. The Stoic response is not to look away in fear. It is to look with clarity. You see the provocation. You acknowledge it. You do not hand it your fuel. Imagine a colleague sends a sharp message. The old habit says strike back. The new practice says pause. You read the words. You notice the heat rising. You name it. You step back from it. You realize the message belongs to them. The reaction belongs to you. You are the only one who decides whether to build a fire or walk away. Which path calls to you more today? Comment 1 if you recognize the pull of reaction. Comment 2 if you feel the quiet strength of observation. The answer shapes your week. The answer shapes your years. We are trained to believe that silence is weakness. We are told that every slight demands a response. But silence is architecture. It creates space. It holds structure. Without it, everything collapses under its own weight. You do not lose power by refusing to fight. You preserve it. You keep your hands clean for what actually matters. How do you build this architecture in daily life? You start with a simple threshold. Before you respond, you pause for 3 full breaths. In that pause, you ask one question. Is this mine to carry? If the answer is no, you place it down. You do not argue with the sky. You do not negotiate with the tide. You let it pass. Next, practice the observer stance. When a difficult moment arrives, imagine you are standing on the opposite bank. You watch the water flow. You see the current. You see the debris. You do not jump in. You note the temperature. You note the speed. You remain dry. This is not detachment. This is precision. You are separating the event from your story about the event. The words were spoken. That is fact. The interpretation is yours. That is choice. You do not need to master this in a day. You only need to begin. Each morning you step outside. You feel the air. You notice the weight in your chest. You set the boundary before the world arrives. You draw a line on the ground. Inside the line is your judgment. Outside the line is the storm. You guard the boundary like a quiet watchman. You do not shout. You do not panic. You simply stand. Try this framework this week. When friction arrives, label it. Say to yourself, this is outside. Then return to what is inside. Your posture. Your breath. Your next deliberate action. You will feel the shift. The heavy weight will lift. The room will clear. You will see the path forward without the smoke. Remember the example of the emperor in his tent. He did not control the armies. He controlled his attention. That is the same skill you use when you close a tab. That is the same skill you use when you walk away from a heated conversation. That is the same skill you use when you let a harsh comment sit unanswered. You are not avoiding the world. You are meeting it with clean hands. You are choosing clarity over noise. You are choosing stillness over exhaustion. The practice grows with repetition. Like a muscle. Like a path worn into the earth by steady steps. You will stumble. You will catch a spark. You will notice it. You will release it. That is progress. The final insight is simple. It is the one we teased at the beginning. True power does not come from stopping the fire. It comes from refusing to feed it. You cannot control the sparks that fly. You can only control your hearth. You can only guard your own walls. Every moment offers a choice. You can add wood. You can let it burn out. We return to the same truth again and again. The world will speak. The world will push. The world will test your patience. None of that belongs to you. Your attention belongs to you. Your peace belongs to you. Your next breath belongs to you. Do not mistake restraint for surrender. Restraint is strategy. It is the quiet discipline of the architect who knows that not every room must be filled. It is the wisdom of the sailor who knows that not every wind must be chased. You are the keeper of your own light. You decide what it illuminates. You decide what it leaves in shadow. The fire will rise. The sparks will fall. You will stand beside them. You will watch. You will choose. And in that choice, you will find the quiet that has been waiting for you all along.